Hello, everyone. Welcome to Laser Tech Tuesdays at 2. I'm Jay Control, the Global Marketing Communications Manager here. Every Tuesday around 2 p.m. Mountain Time, we go live and discuss solutions in either traffic safety or professional measurement. You can join us for a coffee break. We are live for about 15 minutes. And we love hearing what you think. So put your comments down below and we'll answer them either in real time or as the subject of another Facebook Live. And today I am chatting with Peter Thompson from Duncan-Parnell. And I appreciate you taking the time to come visit our live production today, Peter.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Before we get started, can you take a moment to introduce yourself in case people don't know who you are?
Sure. So I'm Peter Thompson with Duncan-Parnell. I am the utility sales rep for North and South Carolina. Duncan-Parnell actually covers much more territory than North and South Carolina. We've got the Mid-Atlantic through the Southeast, so Maryland, Delaware, south to Florida, including Tennessee. So I do mapping in North and South Carolina.
All right. What else does Duncan-Parnell do?
So we are a Trimble business partner or dealer, so we do a lot on the geospatial mapping side of things as well as survey side. But in addition to that, the company got started in 1946 as a printing company. So we've been in the printing industry that entire time, which is actually how we segued into the mapping survey world as well. So we do printing, signs and graphics, that's 2D and 3D printing, signs and graphics, and then we've got a building point side of things as well for business construction.
I did not know that. That's really interesting.
Yes.
That you kind of moved into mapping from the printing.
Correct.
So tell me about some of the you did tell me about some of the products and services as far as printing, but specifically, since you do mapping, what are the services that you offer as far as mapping is concerned?
Sure. So we've got a full range of GNSS receivers. I'm going to specifically speak to the mapping side because that's where I'm on. We have completely another side that's survey related. There is some overlap, but we've got mapping solutions anywhere from sub-meter or really a couple meter accuracy all the way down to centimeter. We've got handheld, fully integrated GNSS receivers as well as BYOD, bring your own device Bluetooth receivers. We've got some mapping applications that run on iOS and Android. And we're also an Esri business partner, so we support all of Esri's RGS Online portal solutions as well.
That's a lot. I'm glad you mentioned BYOD though, which is bring your own device. Can you tell me more about how technology has changed in mapping and has changed how you map?
Sure. So I've been with Duncan-Parnell for a little over 4 years, and even in that time, I've seen a shift from your traditional handheld receiver, the Geo 7X. The Geo series has been our kind of flagship for a long time. We're moving more towards not forgetting the handhelds. The handhelds will certainly always be a part of the solution, but we're moving more towards a BYOD, bring your own device solution that allows you to Bluetooth a receiver to a phone, a tablet. Everybody carries one, so we've got our R series, R1, R2, R6, R8, R12 are all Bluetooth receivers that can pair with an Android, Windows, iOS device. And then you can use the mapping application of your choice on that device and get the accuracy that you come to expect from a Trimble product.
So, we like to hear about our own products too. Do you have
Absolutely.
a favorite rangefinder?
Sure. So I fluctuate between the TruePulse 360R and the 200X, just depending on application. I'm really excited. Trimble TerraFlex, which is our mapping application, has now an integration for doing laser offsets. So we can pair with a 360R if you're using an Android device, or a 200X if you're using an iOS or Android device to actually perform those offsets. I really like having the True Vector technology within the 360R, but the accuracy of the 200X. So I go back and forth between the two. Probably sell most of the 360R simply because of the Compass integration on that one.
Right, yeah. I really think that part is revolutionary. As long as you're not in an environment where there might be other magnetic attractions.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
What would be one of your frequently asked questions? questions that you get from people that you talk to?
Sure. So for me, the biggest thing that I see is the offset capability. So how can we perform those offsets? Again, we spoke kind of briefly on the Geo7X being the flagship from Trimble. It had an integrated rangefinder. I've found that the LaserTech rangefinders are superior to that device, and now being able to pair those with an Android or iOS device. So the question is how can that actually be completed? And then, of course, the question, what's the difference between the 200, 200L, 360, 360R, 200X? So I get to walk a lot of people through what's the difference in those devices.
Right. Yeah, I've seen the Teraflex in action, so I can see why people are like, well, what's the difference between this laser and that laser? And you said, there's a compass, there's accuracy, and also depending on what the Bluetooth can talk to as well.
Correct.
Yeah. So we were talking earlier about different solutions that you're seeing in utilities right now, and one of those was pole audits with offset mapping. Can you tell me more about offset mapping and how you work with that?
Sure. So we certainly see pole audits in the electric world and the telecom world. Using the rangefinder to actually perform those audits, you can measure the distance on the pole, see what's actually on the pole, and then on the water side, I don't see much use as far as getting a distance or measuring the length of an object. I see more performing that offset within Teraflex. For instance, if you've got a water meter that's behind a fence, I always say if there's a big pit bull on the other side of the water meter, which isn't fair because I have a pit bull and she's the biggest baby on the planet, but people are familiar with the big mean pit bull and you don't want to go inside that fence. You can actually perform that offset with the laser rangefinder, and really you can get near the same accuracy that you would get outside of the fence, but do it in a very safe manner. So, or there's really heavy canopy that you just simply can't get a GPS reading. Allows you to accomplish that as well. So, got one of my favorite customers on the gas industry. They're using an R2, and they were going back and forth between Esri's collector, Teraflex, some other laser rangefinders, the TruePulse. So I actually went and we demoed the TruePulse solution, and they went with Teraflex simply because of the ease of use with the LaserTech. They ended up with a 200X and an iPad, and they liked the ease of use with the Teraflex 200X better than anything. So that actually sold them on the Teraflex solution, the R2, simply because of how nice the 200X performed.
The Teraflex makes it easy to work with the rangefinders that we have, which I've seen it in action, and it's pretty amazing.
It is.
Very, very intuitive, which makes it just easier for everybody. We want people to be safe, but we also want them to work efficiently.
Right.
So, I've seen that, and it's pretty amazing. So I have a few more questions for you.
Sure.
But the most important thing is for anyone who's listening, where can people find out more about your company? Do you have a website?
Sure. So we have a website, Duncan-Parnell.com. You can get all of the information about the company, about our different product lines, how to reach us there. And then we're on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We have a YouTube page, so we've got some nice, fun videos on YouTube as well. So those are the best ways to get out and reach us.
Yeah. So you also mentioned that you're doing a webinar series.
Correct.
So do they find out information about that on your website, or do they hunt you in social media?
Sure. So I do not think the webinar series is directly linked on YouTube, but if you go to our website, Duncan-Parnell.com, the easiest way I find it is there's a search bar in the top right-hand corner. If you search webinar, and there's a link to all the webinar series. We've done 6 or 8 of them now. At this point, we kind of started them when COVID got started. Anywhere from Trimble Water Solutions to Esri Solutions, and then we're certainly hoping to do a LaserTech webinar coming up as well. So all of that's available through our website.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the LaserTech one with you.
That'll be nice.
So we just had Thanksgiving, and we were talking earlier about all the food that we do. What would be your favorite Thanksgiving dessert?
Dessert. definitely pecan or pecan pie, depending on what region of the country you're in. Definitely, probably my favorite.
Really? Okay. That's my husband's favorite as well. Mine is pumpkin pie. So.
Not a fan of pumpkin pie.
Yeah, I don't. Well, that just means there's more for me, and that makes me happy. So.
Absolutely. My wife is a big pumpkin pie person as well. So.
Right. Yeah. My husband does not like pumpkin pie. I don't know why.
I think it's the texture. It's a texture thing.
It might be. Yeah. Yep. Pecan pie is just too sweet for me.
Yeah, you can only do a little bit of it, especially after a big Thanksgiving dinner.
Right. Well, Peter, I really appreciated talking with you today. Is there anything else? Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention before we leave?
I don't think so. Reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Duncan-Parnell.com. And if you're in our territory, hopefully you know us. If not, we're happy to meet you.
Right. I want to thank everyone else who has joined us live today. And to be alerted about upcoming Tuesday at 2 events, please click the like button and follow Laser Tech. Looking ahead next week on December 8th, we will speak with Aaron Ducray. He is one of our traffic safety sales managers, and we're going to talk about some solutions that he's been working with especially over the summer and into the fall. So until next week, everyone stay safe and healthy.